today my topic in the subject fluid mechanics and hydraulics is pressure and its measurement. So today in this video we will understand what is pressure and what are the methods of measurement of pressure. So first of all, let's understand what is pressure. So for understanding pressure, let us consider a liquid kept in a vessel. So this is a vessel and inside this vessel I am keeping a liquid. So this liquid will exert force at all the points on the sides of this container as well as the bottom of this vessel. Now the force per unit area is called as the pressure. Now intensity of pressure it is defined as the force exerted on a unit area. So it is denoted by small p. So we have told that it is the force exerted on a given area. To understand this concept more better, let us consider a small area dA which is taken from a large mass of fluid. So this is a large mass of fluid and from this I am taking a small particle of area dA. This fluid has many particles inside it. So from this fluid mass I am taking a small fluid particle which is of the area dA. Now when this fluid particle is at rest, that is it is in its static position, that means it is not in motion, at that point the force exerted by the surrounding fluid particles on this fluid particle, they exert a force on this fluid particle of area dA and let that force be dF. So when this fluid will be at rest or it is in the stationary position, the force exerted by these surrounding particles on this small area dA, which I have drawn it here, will always be perpendicular to the surface dA. So we will tell that intensity of pressure equals to dF by dA. Now if the force is uniformly distributed over the surface, then we will tell that intensity of pressure equals to force by area. Now the pressure force, that is F, equals to P multiplied by A, that is intensity of pressure into area. Now we will see the units of pressure. So pressure is measured in terms of Newton per meter square and that is also called as Pascal. So 1 Newton per meter square equals to 1 Pascal. Now if we try to convert it into kilonewton per meter square, so 1 kilonewton per meter square equals to 10 to the power 3 Newton per meter square. So it will be equals to 1 kilopascal. That means 10 to the power 3 Pascal. This pressure is also measured in terms of bar. So 1 bar is nothing but it is equals to 10 to the power 5 Pascal. And 10 to the power 5 Pascal means 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. So in this way we can represent the units of pressure. So our next topic will be measurement of pressure. The pressure of a fluid is measured in two different systems by considering, first is the local atmospheric pressure. So it can be measured in terms of local atmospheric pressure as the reference pressure. That means what is this reference pressure? This reference pressure is nothing but it is the zero pressure or the datum pressure. And it can be also measured in terms of absolute zero. Now this absolute zero means nothing but it is the complete vacuum. So we can tell that this absolute zero is complete vacuum. So we can measure the fluid in terms of absolute zero or complete vacuum and we can take this as the reference pressure, that is the zero pressure or datum pressure also. Fluid can be measured in terms of local atmospheric pressure and absolute zero or complete vacuum. Now we will understand what do you mean by atmospheric pressure, what do you mean by absolute pressure, and what do you mean by gauge pressure. So the first one is atmospheric pressure. Now the atmospheric air, it exerts a normal pressure upon all the surfaces with which it is in contact, and it is known as the atmospheric pressure. It is also known as barometric pressure because it is measured by barometer. This atmospheric pressure at the sea level, that is above absolute zero, is known as the standard atmospheric pressure. Now this standard atmospheric pressure, it is equals to 101.3 kilonewton per meter square or kilopascal. Kilonewton per meter square is nothing but it is kilopascal. We can tell that it is equals to 10.3 meter of water, and if we take it in terms of mercury, that will be 760 millimeter of mercury. Mercury means 8G, and if we take it in terms of meter, 760 mm in terms of meter is 0.76 meter of mercury. Now you may be wondering that why the standard atmospheric pressure is measured in terms of mercury, because the barometer that is used for measuring this atmospheric pressure, the fluid used in this barometer is actually mercury. So second is gauge pressure. Now whenever the pressure of a fluid is measured with respect to local atmospheric pressure as the reference or zero pressure, as I have told you earlier, then such type of pressure is called as the gauge pressure. And this pressure is measured by the means of pressure gauge. So you can also tell that if pressure is measured with the help of a pressure gauge, it is also called as gauge pressure, in which the atmospheric pressure is taken as the datum. If this gauge pressure is above the atmospheric pressure, it is called as the positive gauge pressure. And in case if this gauge pressure is below the atmospheric pressure, it is called as the negative gauge pressure. And this negative gauge pressure is also known as the suction pressure. When the pressure of the liquid is measured with absolute zero, then it is called as absolute pressure. All the pressure gauges record the difference between the actual pressure and the atmospheric pressure. This actual pressure is the absolute pressure. Absolute pressure is the sum of the atmospheric pressure and gauge pressure. And this absolute pressure can also be the difference between the atmospheric pressure and gauge pressure. This positive one is the positive gauge pressure and this negative one is the negative gauge pressure, which was also known as the suction pressure. Now we will discuss the relationship between atmospheric pressure, gauge pressure and absolute pressure. So this is our absolute zero or complete vacuum, and with reference to this we are going to establish this relationship between atmospheric pressure, gauge pressure and absolute pressure, and this one will be the pressure. So I will be writing it first. So this is the absolute zero, that is the complete vacuum. Now first of all I will show you the absolute pressure. So here I am marking a point A. So this total is the absolute pressure. So I have told you two formulas for absolute pressure, that is atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure and atmospheric pressure minus gauge pressure. So that relationship we will be plotting it here. Now, so this one will be the absolute pressure, total absolute pressure. So another level I will draw. This is B. So this is also the absolute pressure. Now I will be marking the local atmospheric or zero gauge pressure. So this is the local atmospheric pressure or the zero gauge pressure. So above this line will be the positive gauge pressure and below this line will be the negative gauge pressure. So this one is above the local atmospheric pressure, so it is the positive gauge pressure, and below this local atmospheric pressure will be the negative gauge pressure. This negative gauge pressure is also known as vacuum or the suction pressure. Now the local barometric pressure will be absolute pressure minus gauge pressure, and that minus gauge pressure is nothing but the negative gauge pressure or the suction pressure or vacuum. So where it will be? So it will be here. So in this portion it will be the local barometric pressure. So this is done with the reference to this absolute zero or complete vacuum and this pressure. So this part is pressure and this part is the absolute zero or complete vacuum. So we have established the relationship between the atmospheric pressure, the gauge pressure and the absolute pressure. So next we will be learning about the pressure measurement devices. The various devices which are used for measuring this fluid pressure are divided into two categories: manometers and the other one will be mechanical gauges. Now these manometers are based on the principle of balancing the liquid column by same or another column of liquid, and these mechanical gauges are those devices which have an elastic element and deflects under the action of applied pressure. Now we will see what are the different types of manometers that are used for pressure measurement. So basically manometers are divided into two parts, that is, it can be a simple manometer, it can be a differential manometer. Simple manometers are further classified into three types, that is, the first one is a piezometer, that is the most common simple manometer which is used for pressure measurement. So the first one is piezometer. The second one is a U-tube manometer. The name comes from the U-shaped tube of this manometer. And the last one is a single column manometer. Differential manometers are also classified into three types, that is a inverted U-tube manometer. The next one is a U-tube differential manometer. And the third one is a micromanometer. Mechanical gauges are classified into four types. The first one is a Borden tube pressure gauge. Second one will be a diaphragm pressure gauge. So in short I am writing it as diaphragm pressure gauge. The third one will be a bellows pressure gauge. And the last one is the dead weight pressure gauge. This part, that is the mechanical gauges, they have nothing to deal with in civil engineering. These topics are explained well in the mechanical departmental subjects like mechanical measurements and engineering metrology. But in civil engineering we have to deal with these manometers, the simple manometer, differential manometer, and we will be solving problems on these manometers also. Simple manometers are used to measure pressure at a point in a fluid contained in a pipe or a vessel. So this simple manometer consists of a glass tube with one of its ends connected to the point where the pressure is to be measured and the other end remains open to the atmosphere. Now these differential manometers are used for measuring the difference of pressure between 2 points in a pipe or in two different pipes. So it can be an inverted manometer. So inverted manometers looks like this. So I hope this video is clear to all of you. In this video we have learned what is pressure, what are the units of pressure, what are the different pressure measuring devices, what is the relationship between atmospheric pressure, gauge pressure and absolute pressure. So that's all for today. Thank you all for watching this video.